All right, so check me out, folks. Proper attire for integration of a tactical fanny pack. No, but seriously, gym clothes, in my mind, there are not many gym clothes out there. This is just a pair of mesh shorts that are good for integrating even a micro semi-automatic or a J-frame revolver or something like that. There's just not enough purchase to be able to support that weapon, and a fanny pack might be just the ticket. Now, I guess my first gripe would be that Mission First Tactical has missed a prime opportunity here to name something the FUPA. Think about it. Fanny mounted urban protection accessory. I don't know what they're thinking. And on top of that, they make this one and a larger version that we'll get to here in a minute. This could have been the Super FUPA. Look, they didn't ask me, but I'm telling them now, after the fact, after they've already named it. I don't know what they were thinking. But here's the thing. I have never drawn a pistol from my fanny pack before, so we might be doing a fair amount of fumble fucking around here in a minute, but we're gonna give it a shot. Now, the one thing I will say from just riding out here, driving while wearing something like this, I'm usually an appendix carry person, and I usually just unclip my holster and put it underneath my seat. This is considerably more comfortable than traditional appendix carry, shall we say. Well, let's get to it. All right, so the first thing that we're gonna do here is we have possibly identified a threat out there, and we're going to slowly work ourselves, maybe we're sitting in a booth at a restaurant or something like that, we're gonna slowly work ourselves into the fanny pack, extract the pistol, and engage the target, right? Now, in my mind, I feel like to be able to do this either way, we would stage the dual zippers on the side over here so that the area is open by just actuating one. I don't think that you would usually do it like that unless you wanted to be able to do both hands, I suppose. But I think staging the zippers over there is probably the way to do it. So we see something, we're gonna kind of, you know, again, this is below the booth or whatever. We've got purchase on the pistol. Reholster the pistol. Let's try both hands now. So we're going to slowly stage ourselves into here. Extract the pistol, grab it. All right. Cool. Now let's go for something that's a little bit more rapid, shall we say. I would think that if I was trying to get to this in a hurry, so we don't have all the time in the world to do what we were doing before. I got to get this and I got to get it on target. I think that you would probably do one of these where you rip it, grab it. That's interesting. Rip it, grab it, and then present it. So, and I think that actually, yeah, we're gonna plunge like this to be able to expose the pistol there. Should have a couple left, yeah. It's obviously not as quick as a regular appendix carry. We should have one left in here. So we're gonna go ahead and do a reload now. All right, yeah, that's considerably different, but it is still doable. You know what, we got the ammo loaded. Let's just, let's go ahead and do one more while we're here. Okay, and reholster. Now, as far as the holster setup here is concerned, this is one of Mission First's holsters. We'll give a close-up for that thing. It basically integrates into the bag with this Velcro back here. Scratchy Velcro here, soft Velcro there. Let's move to the other bag for a sec. Moving on to the large variant. This is capable of doing FUPA carry, right? But also has been designed to be able to do chest-mounted pack. And I've got some ideas about chest-mounted pack. Now, top access, which means center access. So whichever shoulder you carry on is going to be important. We'll do that here in a second. But I typically carry on my right side because I'm right-handed. I have to off-shoulder carry for access because it's going to face this way. So as far as access, very quick access when we're talking about access to the pistol, right like that. And coincidentally, out of ammunition. The extra magazines store in a separate compartment up here. I liked how it had it all in one compartment, so you only had to open one of them to get to your spare ammo. Going back in. Before we really get rocking and rolling today, I'm going to say that these make fantastic loose ammunition dump pouches, and you can see that that's how I was using it. So you basically grab a fistful, press your magazines during your down sequence, and I mean this nice wide open spot, and you can also zip it up and use it like that. So anyway, dump this out into this other Mission First bag that I have. And all of this Mission First stuff, we have a discount code listed in all the relevant places for you guys, whether it's the bags or something else that they offer. Use that to great effect. This bag, Velcro on the front for mounting of patches, webbing for expansions, as well as putting pens and clipping various other things to it. First pouch right here. Wide open zipper pouch with a carabiner, kind of standard for most of the Mission First stuff. And then other webbing pouches in here that are not really designed for magazines and stuff like that. Those are for your standard regular items, candy bars and Skittles and stuff like that. You get the idea. Behind that, we have a carry handle and the main pouch and a round that I didn't quite get out. These ones, inside there is the capacity to retain magazines. And then as far as like attachment of your holster is concerned, I'll zip this all the way down. It doesn't quite fold flat, as you can see. This big Velcro area, what we have here is one of Mission First's Pro Series holsters. This one's for a 365, and the way that these holsters work is that there is a big strut down inside there. That is a polymer strut, and that silvery bit that you see in there is a high-strength magnet. And these are available with all of the bells and whistles. We have a tension strut for your belt. We have a standard clip in there, and then this is set up with the Velcro back to situate it right like that, and then zipped. And then, of course, we have another access pouch back here, right behind the main pouch, and it is flanked with the straps. That's about all I've got on this pack, and I would like to just roll this one in for a little bit because it's essentially the same pack. There's some design choices as far as like the laser cut paneling, and there's more storage, and you know, it's just all around bigger, right? Well, as far as bigger is concerned, if we flip these things over, this rear pouch here, obviously considerably bigger as well. And if we think back to the chest-mounted pack, Mission First Tactical, give me some ballistic inserts, some level 3A inserts that are this size, specifically made for this, and that provides some serious value, because that being in the middle of my chest, even though this isn't a full, you know, body armor plate, is still better than nothing. And when you also think about this from the FUPA pack perspective, one of the places that we teach in a lot of tactical training courses is to shoot high center chest or skip the headshots pelvic girdle. So having something like this over your pelvic girdle that has ballistic protection, because you got a lot of important stuff going on in your pelvic girdle. There's a lot of big arteries there that can kill you just as fast as a wound to the chest. So thinking about adding a ballistic protection element to this makes it a big value over other offerings on the market. So that would be a big draw to something like this over like a Walmart special or something like that.